here's what my dust collector looks like. And like a lot of those videos you see on YouTube, I took it apart and took it off the stand. At first I had it on the stand rolling around a little bit, but I soon realized that I did need to build some kind of chip collector because I was getting a lot of, the bag was filling up too quickly. So I did what a lot of people do on YouTube. Got the steel trash can from Walmart, I think. I think it was 20, 25 bucks, something like that, maybe 30 bucks. And I have it set up so that the dust comes in the back. In the back there's a PVC pipe coming in at a 90, and it comes in. I have a baffle inside, one of those Thien baffles, or Thien baffles, however you say it. Inside of here, I'll take that apart and show you how it works then. And then it comes up on this side up to the impeller up here. I can open and close this one that skips the chip collector, and I have that hooked up to the bandsaw. So one of the things that I wanted to do with this dust collection system is I wanted to make sure I was catching those fine particles, because the only natural light I have is over here at that small window right there. And it does let in a lot of light because that's the south facing side, so the sun actually comes right in there, and sometimes I could see those fine particles just all throughout this whole area, and even more so when I turned on the dust collector. After I ran this dust collector with the regular bag it comes with for, I would say, about a month or two, it really clogged up. And then every time you turn it on, those small particles would be pushed out through. The bag actually acted to push more dust around. So that was a major problem. I didn't want to be down here and have my daughter down here, who's 4, working with me, breathing that stuff in. And I don't have to wear a dust mask every time I'm down here. So I did have to spring for one of these Wynn filters, which you can see here, and that's the nano filter, the more expensive one. I think it was $177 before shipping. I think after taxes and shipping, it came out to around over $200, which is more than I paid for the entire Harbor Freight dust collector system. But I think it's going to be well worth it. Be a good investment, because then I don't have to worry about all those fine particles escaping and then this fine layer of dust settling over everything in here, because that's what I was finding. If we look, you can see it a little bit here. The lighting's not the best, but I cleaned this off, and the fine dust back here, where I just made a mark with my fingers, that fine dust was all over everything in the shop. So it's really fine stuff. That's the problem. That's the stuff I saw being kicked around. You can see it up here, the shadows, you can still see it. This is the stuff I'm talking about right here. This is the inside of that filter, and it's incredibly dusty. As you can see, the puffs of dust coming off of it. And this only goes to 5 microns, so the new Wynn filter is 0.1 microns, I believe. So quite a difference in what the size of dust it can collect. But this is trash. I'm going to throw this away. It's so clogged that it was actually, you can see the staining on the outside of it. Here's what it looks like with the filter off. And as the dust comes through here, this creates a spinning effect around that circle, and that vortex helps to separate the bigger dust from the smaller dust. That's the idea anyway. And this baffle I put in here is a thin piece of, I think, 1/8 inch plywood that I created, one of those Thien baffles again in there. And I think right along here where I'm showing you with my hand, this part of the arc is sealed against, like from right about here to here, the plywood extends to the edge of this. So it's sealed along this edge, and then it's open along that edge, so that as it spins, heavier stuff falls and gets trapped, falls down to the bottom. So haven't run this too much. I still do get some sawdust in there, but it's a minimal amount compared to what I did before I put that metal trash can in there with a baffle. Okay, so here's the top, and I have below there the Thien baffle. I have some insulation, foam insulation along the side to try to seal it up a little bit tighter on that side. This space right here, as it comes around and starts to spin, that's where the chips will drop in. and hopefully not get sucked up this pipe up here into the impeller and into your fine filter. So inside you can see how I mounted that. Tilted a little bit. So I just got a 90-degree PVC piece from Home Depot. It's a 4-inch, I think, OD up there on the top. I think it's a 4-inch OD on the top. Anyway, it comes in there, and I use some silicone and other types of flexible, I think flexible caulk in there to seal. I think it was for doors and windows, and let's try to get a nice tight airtight seal in there. This is one of the fittings that come with the Harbor Freight dust collector accessory package, and I just modified it a little bit, cut off the corners, and then you can see I drilled some holes and then put some long screws in there to hold them in place, and that gave me a nice attachment point for this flexible hose, which fits right on there perfectly to one of those. And so that's nice and tight there and pretty airtight. So thanks for watching. I hope this was somehow helpful to you. And leave me any questions or comments. I'd love to hear from you, and hopefully I can help add to a little bit of the knowledge that's out there. So until next time, thanks a lot.